if you look at it like, oh, I wasted my time doing that, then you weren't going
It's
to get the leads in the first place because you weren't doing it
exactly,
for the right reason.
exactly.
So,
It's all
um,
about having that confidence too. If you have
yeah.
that confidence, like
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Video Marketers Vault podcast. If you're new here, my name is Evan Andrews, and on this podcast, I started it and created it so that local business owners, entrepreneurs, anybody out there who is not using video in today's digital marketing landscape can learn and understand why it is important for you guys to get started here in 2025 and even using it beyond. Today, I have a special guest with me, Shay of Roof Republic. Shay and I have done a little bit of content together in the past. I know that we had some fun working on that through getting connected through a local networking group here in the city of Houston. But Shay, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am doing really good. I know that right before we started, we had the hiccups of the technology things, and I was explaining that that's how this week has kind of gone for me. But I hope that your week has been a little bit better, maybe than mine. But I'm super grateful that you took the time out today to do this with me. I know that we're going to have a great conversation about video content, specifically what you guys are doing over there at Roof Republic, because I know that you guys in the roofing industry and even just kind of local businesses in general, you guys kind of take what you do pretty seriously, at least from what I see and what you guys invest in.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I wanted to kind of start with you on this is, why do you specifically feel that, it's important that local businesses, whether they're big, a little, maybe medium size or really small, like, why do you feel like making intentional content every single month is important for you guys?
Well, it's very important because one, you're building trust. I
Mhm.
mean, you're building trust with, the outside world. And not only that, you can build a brand with it. You can build a brand, trust, recognition. I mean, we were at a home show last week and we had another roofing company come up to us and they're like, "Hey, we've seen your social and your social media." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that is so cool." I mean, for another roofing company to say that they follow us and, I mean, it's really cool. So it's really, it's awesome.
Do you think that that has, because I know here in the city of Houston and surrounding areas, like there's roofers on literally every corner,
Mhm.
right? Like they're like, it seems like a new one pops up every day, right? But do
Um,
you think that by making content and having those kind of things happen, that like what you just mentioned, do you think that like strengthens bonds between other roofing companies?
Oh, 1000%. Definitely 1000%. And the thing is a lot of the 99% of roofing companies out there, they're not doing content. So we are that roofing company that is doing content. So, it's kind of like it's almost like a battle, but it's kind of not when, they're not putting the effort to try and make
Hmm.
content, get out there, knowing your hooks and, because it's not easy being in front of the camera. It's
Yeah.
nerve-wracking
Yeah.
and a lot of people don't want to do it.
Well, I mean, you obviously make content, like you said, for like that brand awareness and those different kind of
Mhm.
things. But can you just, for the audience that might be listening, that, might be some roofers out there, other home service businesses that don't make content, um, talk about some of the things that that traditional roofing companies kind of rely on in their
Mhm.
marketing today?
I mean, I can't tell you the amount of leads that we have gotten just from our content alone. And they're not even meta ad contents. They just go on our Facebook and they get familiarized. They see us, they see the team. We also put a lot of educational content out there.
Hmm.
So it's also for homeowner base too. Hey, you want to learn how to do a simple tarp? Hey, check out this content. It's going to show you how to do a quick tarp. So we're pretty much aiming for the homeowners aspect, also for the roofers aspect. So we're kind of trying to target the whole shebang.
Yeah, no, I love that. Because you building those bonds with either another professional or the homeowner. I mean, you never know where that other company might feed you a project or two because maybe they can't handle something, right?
Exactly.
Or the homeowners that you guys ultimately likely want to work with the
Yeah,
most, right? They're going to feel like they already know who you are by
exactly.
watching all of that stuff prior to giving you guys a call or doing anything like
Exactly.
that. Because I even think, a lot of especially home service people, like Google is like their big monolith that they like to
Yeah.
utilize where they can. um but now the way that people make decisions today, they might find you on Google first by like
Yep.
looking for whatever, but they're going to go to those links that are in your profile or whatever's
Yep.
related to your Google My Business or something like that. And if they go to a Facebook page or an Instagram account or whatever you guys might be using, and you're not doing anything there, you kind of you're kind of fumbling the bag of like having them take that next step that you ultimately want, which
Yep.
might be giving you the phone call or clicking on your website, filling out the form, whatever it might be.
Yep.
And that's why I see content as super important. It's not always the direct tie to the lead,
Yep.
right? Like the content itself might not prompt a DM or whatever, but
Yep.
it prompts the next thing, right? And that's
1000%.
why I feel like it's so important. And I think that's a business owners, they just want like, okay, what's the thing that gets me the leads? And they don't shift
Exactly.
their perspective on it. And I think that's why
Yep.
they don't really do it uh, very
Exactly.
much. But um, what would you say to maybe another roofing company or home service company or just, I mean, service business basically in general? What do you think? What do you think you had to overcome to really start making content as consistently as you guys make it?
So really it was, whenever you kind of second guess yourself, you're like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm going to do it." You're putting yourself out to the world, for also the world to judge you, but at the end of the day, this is your life and you make what you put in. And if you put in the amount of work that you do in your business with your content,
Mm,
it'll just bloom from there. Not only that, we also do a lot of like funny little bloopers and,
hmm.
all that funny stuff. So it
Yeah,
doesn't always have to be strictly roofs because, people can see roofs all the time, but that's boring.
sure.
Let's make it fun. Let's do something funny. So just
Yeah,
trying to
no,
be different.
I definitely agree with that. Like I don't do too much of that kind of stuff with my clients. We do focus on kind of like that education, or sometimes we try to entertain them, but um you know, it's for me, it's value at the end of the day. What do they
Oh,
get
yeah.
that's value out of it? And value can be entertainment also too. But I just have to try and pay attention, like what serves my clients best. But I want to ask because I don't remember. I mean, we worked together, like it's probably been about 2 years ago when
Yeah.
we first
Been
did
a
that
minute.
one session together. Um, were you guys making content prior to that? Or
Yep.
was that, oh, you guys were? Okay.
Yep.
I I
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure because when I looked back, I just couldn't remember,
Yep.
if I had seen a bunch from you guys at that
Mhm.
point, and when I was looking back, I was like, "I wonder if my session with her was the thing that, like, you know, kicked her in the butt to, like, start doing it more?"
For
And I
sure.
always I always ask myself that question because I had never directly asked you,
Yeah.
that. But that it's good to know that you were doing it prior to me, working with you a little bit there.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just something that I still see that, the markets demand the content these days. But
Mhm.
still so many people that do what you do, or, closely related to maybe what you do, they just they don't really understand the why still.
Yeah.
And it hasn't kind of come full circle for them to really understand it. But um what what do you overall feel like, I guess, you want to improve with, like, what do you feel like you guys could do better with your content for what you're doing right now?
So, I'm actually starting a podcast. So I'm starting a podcast. It's gonna be called Shingle and Mingle. So it's It's about all things roofing, and it's a
Love
lot
that.
of also women in lear, so we're doing that. And
Nice.
we also started a roofing done right university. So we're gonna start a roofing channel.
Okay.
And, it's gonna be a lot of how-tos because I don't know if you see a lot of roofing companies out there in the state of Texas, you don't have to have a license here.
Mm-hmm.
So any chump in a truck can put a ladder in the back of his truck and call himself a roofer.
Yeah.
The amount of knowledge out there, there's not it. So we wanna be that channel to, this is how you do it correctly. This is how you tarp a roof correctly. This is
Mm-hmm.
how you change a pipe. This is the difference between the Owens Corning and the duration and, all that. So
Mm.
more educational, and then the podcast is gonna be more of like, business, entrepreneurship, roofing, and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff,
So
so
the stuff for the the education stuff for that's going to be for other roofers.
Yep, it is, it's gonna be for other roofers, because there's the 900 million companies out there, and, one of our last guys actually came from a different company because he saw our content, learned from our content, and came to our company because he saw the content that we were putting out and just the knowledge that we were putting out there that he wasn't receiving at his old company.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought it was amazing.
I love it. I love it. The process of content for you guys right now. You use somebody in house or are you working with somebody else?
No, been working with this person for the last, yeah, since before I met you,
Yeah,
so the
yeah. So it's
last
been a few years. I mean, at least 3 or 4 years,
yeah,
I would assume.
yep, it's been a minute.
Nice, nice.
Mhm.
What goes into the process for you in terms of making content? Like, I mean, what's your part and role in coming up with what you guys are going to talk about and all of those things?
So, what's funny is because you actually taught me this. You taught me how to go into the web browser and you taught me how to, put in the words roofers near me, and then that's how they pop up the questions. So that's all you, Evan. You taught me that, and I'm trying to aim towards that, towards those questions that people are actually Googling to answer
Mhm.
those.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we do. We try and come up with little hooks, because you got that 3 seconds to catch them attention. If it's like, hey, my name is Swipe,
Yep.
they don't care what your name is. What are you doing?
Yep. No,
So
you are exactly right. No, it's I love that answer of me instilling something in you
yeah.
to be able to kind of push forward what it is that you guys are doing with content. I mean, prior to that, I'll ask, what
Mhm.
were you doing to come up with content? Because you were making it. So what were you doing before that?
So I was literally getting all the questions that homeowners were just asking me, like, how much is a roof? Or,
Hmm.
hey, they don't want a black roof because they think it's going to be hot in their attic. So I'm just kind of literally try and get what the homeowners are trying to questions. And then I just put that into content.
Yeah.
But now I learned how to do it from Google. So now I can just do that.
I love that. I love that. I'll also have to turn you on to some ChatGPT stuff that I've even
Yes.
uncovered in the last couple of weeks where you can I used to not like ChatGPT, but in the last 2 weeks or so, I've really kind of fallen in love with how quickly it helps me
Isn't it
get some of those
crazy?
ideas there, and then I can kind of make them better where I
That's
see fit.
awesome.
But no, I'll definitely make sure that I send you some stuff from that.
Yes.
But but yeah, I mean, I guess because we're gonna be coming to an end of this episode here. What I really want you to be able to do, right, is I really want you to express to anybody that might be watching this that is a business owner, service bit. I don't really care what kind of
Um,
business that they run, operate. Why should they turn the camera on? Why should they press record? Whether they do it by themselves, whether they hire somebody to do it and they invest money and capital into it, why do they need to start?
I would say because it is 2025 and everybody and their mothers uses content. I mean, not content, social media. Social media is the world of life now, and you have to get in the program. You have to get in this decade, and you have to accommodate to this decade and what everybody else is doing. Stop being scared. Stop being scared. Yes, that red light turning on is scary, opening up yourself to the world is scary, but leads is not scary. Money's not scary, But that's my take. Stop thinking about it and just do it. I mean, you're gonna see your company just blow up from there.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, it's the adage of you don't know until you try. And
1000%.
I would and I always tell people this too, right? Like I always tell people like content isn't for everybody,
Yeah.
right? Like no matter what, I'm not going to sit here and tell somebody that just can't make content happen for themselves in whether it be a streamlined manner or they get so much anxiety out of doing it that it comes across and all of
Yeah.
that. Like obviously I don't want your mental health
Yeah.
to suffer because you're feeling like you're forced into doing something, right? But I think like you just said, like people are just too scared to start because they're scared of what people are going to say. And this is me giving
Yep.
the Gary V mantra of everything here, but you don't even know until you
Yeah.
really get in front of a camera and do it. And I've been doing it for 5 years now. And
Yeah.
every time I turn the camera on, I don't always say everything the way that I wanted to say it.
Yep.
I have to redo things
Yeah.
multiple times.
Yeah.
And I get the feedback from my actual finished videos that people always say, "Well, Evan, you just make it look so easy." And it kind of can be said, it's like the gym analogy,
Yeah.
right? Like those buff dudes and women and whatever that got all the muscles and go and have all the tonality and all of that. Like that didn't just happen because they went once,
Yep.
right? They went for years and
Yeah.
years and years. And that's kind of how content should be looked at. Now you can fast track that a lot with how you invest in it, right?
Yeah.
Whether that be your time or money or getting help or whatever it might be, right? But you're the ultimate driving factor of whether or not you make content work for you at the end
Yep.
of the day. Like I can't come in and say, like, if you're not good on camera, like that is going to come from you being on camera more. Like
Yep.
I'm not going to come in and just ultimately fix that for you. The biggest one that I
Yeah.
get all the time is, can you make me look skinny? And I'm like, I mean, I can frame you in a way that you don't look terrible, but
Yep.
can't come in here and CGI you and make you look like something that you're not because people would know, right?
Yep.
So, my biggest advice for people is try it. Try it
Exactly.
long enough to where you can actually understand if it is something that you can sustain
Yep.
and if it's viable, a viable source of what you actually want it to achieve. So
Yep.
can it deliver leads to you? Can it build relationships? Can it start conversations? And likely the answer is yes, it will.
Yep.
You just have to give it enough time for that kind of stuff to transpire.
1000%. And what's the worst that could happen? You get leads, you build recognition. I
Yep.
mean,
Or
you know,
yeah, or you just what, maybe wasted a few hours or whatever. And again, I say that very loosely because that's
yeah.
just the mindset.
Yeah.
Right? If you look at it like, "Oh, I wasted my time doing that," then you weren't gonna
It's
get the leads in the first place because you weren't doing it
exactly.
for the right reason.
Exactly.
So,
It's all
um,
about having that confidence too. If you have
yeah,
that confidence,
it
like
it is. And and
smooth,
and
easy
and,
pick.
let's speak on that real quick before we kinda wrap up because I think
Mhm.
confidence, you know, people because I was a very shy kid. I still am
Mhm.
a shy person. Like, I tell everybody all the time, like, if I went to a bar I could literally sit at a bar, drink my little whiskey and Coke, watch a sports game, and not talk to a soul around me. And I would be fine with that. Right. But because that's how I am, I kind of have to turn on a different part of myself to do even things like this. And we're just having a conversation. Right. But like it even gets even more heightened when there's nobody around me and I know what I'm trying to do in the end is supposed to sound and look a certain way. Like I have to pull myself out of a little bit of like, is this worth it? Can I do it? Should I be wasting my time doing like, I have to get over some of that still.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that can be built over time. Like you're not just going to start off this like confident figure that whatever. Now, if you already are, uh, a person that has full confidence in themselves, you don't care about what other people think about you, all of that. I don't know what you're doing if you're not making content because you probably will do really, really well with it. But
Yes.
speak to that confidence like aspect of it a little bit more if you can. On
So, and when I say confidence, just having that, because a lot of the times I'll also get into my head. I'm like, I don't know. But then I have to give myself reassurance, like, no, I got this. I can do this, like this is easy peasy. Let's knock this out and then let's go to the other one. But
Yeah.
then if you're thinking like, oh, I don't know, I'm going to be shy, then the video is going to suck. But if you
Yeah.
give yourself those words of, affirmations, like, I got this, I'm going to do it, I'm going to bomb it, you're going to bomb it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, I totally agree. For other people out there so they can understand, because I kind of just divulged, like, I fuck up a lot, right?
mm,
On a shoot in a day. Well, let's ask this just
mm.
so I can understand like y'all's process right now. When y'all do shoot content, how much do you usually shoot at one time?
So we shoot once a month,
Okay.
and I could shoot about 5 to 6 videos on that one shoot.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, um, we need to talk because I think you can do more.
Yeah.
I maybe can help you guys do more, but we'll talk
Yeah.
about that later. Usually with the clients that I work with, if there's not extra like B-roll footage involved, I mean, I can do like 20 in a couple of hours with
Heck
people.
yeah.
So it's like that's about strengthening that muscle. But going through
Yes.
those 5 or 6 that you do, I mean, how often do you mess up? How often do you have to retake? Like, what does that look
Oh,
like?
all the time. All the time, but I don't know if you saw our one that we posted last week. We had a bloopers.
I probably saw it. I see all of y'all stuff.
Oh,
So,
you gotta check out our bloopers. I
oh yeah.
mean, we got all our messed up videos.
Uh
I
huh.
mean, there's even one of me going, "Fuck," or like, being funny, but that's just who we are.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, put those little clips into a blooper. And right now, that bloopers, I mean, it's gotten so many views.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I saw the most recent one. I think it was like a POV one you guys did, or not maybe
okay.
most recent. I saw one. I don't know. It was yesterday or something like that. Sometimes Instagram feeds me stuff like 2 days behind, but it's
Yes.
like weird the way that it feeds me. But no, I know that I definitely see all the posts that come through from you guys, and every time I do
Cool.
see one, I'm like, I'm happy that they're still doing
Yeah.
what they're doing, because I know that there's so many people out there that still don't understand why they need to.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. Agreed.
But, Shay, I really appreciate you, doing this with me today. I mean, just to recap for everybody, Shay runs a roofing company here in Houston. She makes content. She does it to the best of her ability. She doesn't give a crap what other people have to say about her, but she understands that this is the time and this is the age that we live in, and people expect businesses that they want to do business with to, for lack of a better words, expose themselves
Yep.
in ways that make them feel comfortable buying with them.
Yep.
So, Shay, any send off last touch notes there that you want to leave us with?
I mean, it's kind of like, back in the day, people used to go on Google and try and find companies. They don't really Google no more. They go on Instagram or Facebook and Google you first. So if your Instagram or Facebook is lacking, then why would they want to go with you in the first place?
I love that. I love that. Yep. We got to put the emphasis in the new places where the eyeballs are.
A
Right.
1000%.
So, well, that brings us to the end of another episode. Shay, again, thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you, Evan.
I'll make sure to put everything down in the show notes. If you are in the Houston or surrounding areas, you guys are up more north part of Houston, correct?
Yep, but we go all
You
over.
go
We're in
everywhere. Awesome.
Austin. We go to Dallas. So
Oh,
we're all
they're
over.
traveling out here. Okay,
Yep.
cool. Well, I will make sure that I put everything down in the show notes. If anybody out there is watching, listening, other roofing companies, if you want to see what they're doing, find all of their stuff down in the description below of this video. And until next time, we will see you guys later.
Awesome.
Peace out.